Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little tier list. Now that we have beaten Elden Ring and we have done all of the good grand gaming, I now want to go ahead and do a tier list. So, as you guys can see, we are going to actually, why don't I? So, I'm going to do a tier list of the endings. I feel like it's pretty obvious which ending should be good and which ending should be bad, but listen, we played the game. I have beaten the game singular time. It was a great run, all right? It was probably one of the first JRPGs that I've ever finished. It's one of the first single player games I invested so much time into, and it was honestly a great time. And I've gotten to the endings, and I've held them near and dear to my heart by finding little to no spoilers throughout the entire thing, only knowing that Frenzy Flame, not a JRPG. It's not exactly a JRPG, but it's an RPG in Japan. I'm saying in the essence of single player games. Yeah, I don't know if I'll invest 1,000 hours, but we did get to level 180 something. I completionist run all the content, all the dialogue, as many side quests as possible. I didn't get every single item, but I did every dungeon, every piece of content, every boss. I fully divulged myself. And after 125 hours beating that run, we're going to talk about the endings. Now, let's see. We just watched all the endings, so this is very recently informed, and we just beat the game today. So, here's where I'm at. I think, without a shadow of a doubt, actually, I'm going to put I'm thinking the Fractured, the Age of the... Now, this is not completely informed by what the lore means or by what the outcomes mean, but like, what is the difference between like Age of the Fractured and like Age of the Golden Order? Like I haven't really learned about what the endings mean, but just from what the game itself has given me and from reading item descriptions and reading remembrances and stuff like that, I'm putting these, and as not even just what the cutscene means, but what it represents, how it felt to watch it, you know? Not just like, oh, this one's really boring to watch, but it's like the best, it's like the true ending, the eternal ending. Screw that. I think I'm putting the Golden Order and the Fracture at the bottom. They're probably the most boring, and I was getting kind of bored doing all the Marika interactions because it was like the exact same audio lines, okay? The exact same audio. And then on top of it, it was... The only difference was the final word, and then they just made like a different color. So I feel like it was kind of lax. I feel like it would have been cooler if there was more, you know, like damage done to like the world. And I know you're gonna be like, oh well, they cast everything on fire. But I mean, even afterwards, like exploring the world after you made the decision, because you can go into New Game Plus if you want like a normal space. But I think it would be cool to like opt in to like, you know, like if whatever happens to the tree and whatever you commit to happens to the space around you. And I'll get more into that at the end. So I think these two are the least impactful in terms of those visuals and that style. I mean, what, the Age of the Fractured, we become Elden Lord, maybe. The Golden Order, we restore the tree. And so like the Fractured is we're both Elden Ring. One of them, everything is happy-go-lucky, and the Order continues. And the other one is, fuck the Order, but we're in charge now. It's very bare bones. They're very whatever. I mean, actually, I'd give the default one I'd give the default one a C because it's just average. It's just average. Fia's deathbed and the mending rune of the Prince Death. It's really cool, and I like it, but I think the quest line to get there is just, it's great, but I think the actual outcome of like the Age of the Duskborn and like, ooh, that's what makes Bloodborne, haha. Like, I just thought it was okay. The cinematic was whatever. It was kind of copy paste. It wasn't that cool. Oh my god, freaking Zay, hydration text. All right, everyone, get out your teas, get out your coffees, get out your juices, get out your wines, get out your waters, and have a little sippy. Take care of yourself, take your vitamins, enjoy a little hydration. I see you in there. You guys are nerds. Okay, so I'm putting I feel like I'm trying to separate the ending moment versus how you got there, because I feel like the way you get some of these runes is really, really cool, but then what they do in the ending isn't that cool. I think I might give this one a D as well. I just think it's just boring. It's just boring. Both of these, you get these at dramatically different points of the game, depending on when you do the quest line. And I think there's whatever. However, I think the dung ending, I hate the quest line. I don't care about the dung eater. He's a loser. But it actually had an impact on the world. It actually had an impact on the world. So I thought that was very cool. So I'm giving this a B. Because you got kind of a unique one. It's the most unique out of all of the default options or the mending options. And now we're left with the two GOAT results of the game. I, in my personal playthrough, went Giga Mage, so that's the experience I had. Judge me if you want. I did everything I could, and I went for the Eternal Moon ending. The Age of... I already forgot what it was called. What? The Age of Sadness? Whatever she was. She was getting real depressed when she talked about it.
Into fear, doubt, and loneliness.
Okay, well that just sounds like Seattle. That sounds... The Age of the Stars. I thought this was great. I think her quest line, I think everything that led up to it, great in its own right. And I think the ending cinematic, honestly, it was a little anticlimactic. She kind of just says like, hey, you want to like hold my... Like, they didn't even touch hands. They just kind of freeze frame.
Well then, shall we?
You want to go like on a date? You want to go like on a coffee date? Which hand am I supposed to grab? No one ever prepared me for this social question. Like right there. Like they didn't even touch. You know, in anime, like we do a little hand holding, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna give this one, I mean, it's an A or an S. It obviously is. It's the most unique ending. The shot with the moon, I mean, the shot with the moon is amazing. Like this shot goes extremely hard. Like that moment, it's even cooler when you fight Renala. But this shot and that ending, like, amazing. I also think that she says it's the age of darkness and like everything ends and all that. I think after you leave, it should be perma nighttime. It should be perma nighttime and everything should be really bright because of the stars, like you're at Ronnie's Rise. Not Ronnie's Rise. When you're at the plateau where her questline ends. I think the entire world should look like that. I think whatever choice you make should have a really big impact on the space afterwards because one, you get the option to like go to New Game Plus instantly. So it's like, and also there's no one to kill, there's no bosses. So it's kind of just like for fun, seeing the area you beat, looking at all the, you know, the vistages, like it's kind of, or the vistas, sorry. So I think they should have done more with the cinematic, but they're just like, oh, you're my consort. But the moon shot is the background for Steam. Yeah, like that shot is so good. Like it's so good. Oh, it just like, and then knowing that like if you did her quest line, like you had to do everything to get there. So you know, I'm not trying to include the quest line, but you know about everything that built up to it. I think that's great. Now, compared to the Frenzied Flame we saw, I reacted to and watched. Oh shit. That ending, I watched that one. That one was the most eye-opening. It was the most dramatic out of all of them, without even a doubt. And it was super, super badass. It was very, very cool. I didn't want to do the Three Fingers. I had no interest in Madness. I was full committed to Mage without even knowing about the Mage ending at that time. But the music that plays, it was so loud. It was so damning. It genuinely left an impact. All of them left an impact, but that one was like, holy shit. I know. I said it, but eventually, you know, listen. Frenzied Flame goes in S, and I put Ronnie at an A+, but fuck, that ending was cool. That ending was so cool, and it definitely deserves S. That's just easily Elden Ring's endings. That's just what it should be. Now, this isn't the ending that I want, and I didn't even do the Frenzied questline, and we're about to watch a bunch of lore videos on stream about it. But that ending was cool as hell, because if we go to the Elden Ring ending, Frenzied Flame, I mean, your character, I mean, this shot. I mean, like the Eye of Sauron, like all of the art, the history with Vike, everything that you're doing, like that's badass. And that's all you gotta say. So honestly, I give that vibe. It is the pure contrast of the moon. And I think that pure contrast makes me happy enough. That's the tier list, baby.